The stars shimmered like tiny diamonds against the black canvas of space, and humanity had never felt so small, yet so alive. Orbiting the edge of the Eridani system, the Titan, Earth's largest and most advanced warship, moved silently. Its hull gleamed under the distant light of the system's twin suns, a ship so massive that it seemed almost alive. Every human aboard felt the weight of the moment, first contact with an alien civilization. Captain Aria Bennett stood on the bridge, her hands lightly gripping the rail. She had dreamed of this moment since she was a child, staring at the night sky, imagining what lay beyond the stars. Now, humanity's pinnacle of technology floated in an alien system, ready to speak, or fight, depending on how the first moments went. "Captain," Lieutenant Reyes said, his voice tense. "Our scanners are picking up something unusual. The planet's entire surface is lighting up. Energy readings off the charts. I've never seen anything like this." Aria frowned, her eyes narrowing. "Show me." The main display flickered, revealing a world of swirling colors, its atmosphere alive with strange electromagnetic pulses. Cities, or what looked like cities, glowed like massive circuit boards, energy flowing along veins in the ground. Sensors went wild, alarms blaring softly across the bridge. Every sensor, every instrument, screamed that humanity had entered the territory of a civilization far beyond the ordinary. The Titan wasn't just a warship, it was a statement, and now it had been noticed. "Status report," Aria said. Lieutenant Reyes's fingers danced over the console. "Energy signatures indicate a technological level far advanced. They're scanning us, I'm sure. Multiple satellites, orbital platforms, surface-based detection arrays, they've seen us." A murmur ran through the crew. First contact had always been a dream, but the reality was nothing like simulations. Here was a species fully aware of humanity's presence, and the moment of truth was closer than anyone had imagined. "Send the greeting protocols," Aria ordered. "Keep defensive systems at full alert. I want the first impression to be peaceful, but I don't want us caught off guard." Lieutenant Chen, communications officer, nodded. "Sending universal symbols of peace now. Visual signals, pulses of light, harmonic tones, all standard first contact protocols. Waiting for a response." The bridge held its breath. Seconds passed like minutes. Then, almost immediately, the planet responded. Pulses of light from its surface matched the Titan's rhythm, but then changed, accelerated, as if testing the humans. Energy flares shot into orbit, satellites repositioned, and massive structures on the ground rotated as if coming alive. Reyes exhaled sharply. They're not sure if we're friendly, or maybe they're trying to communicate, or they're deciding how to destroy us," muttered Ensign Malik, the youngest on the bridge, barely 19 but already seasoned in space protocols. His hands shook slightly as he gripped the console. Aria didn't answer. She watched the patterns carefully. Humans had a gift aliens rarely expected: observation and adaptation. They would wait, watch, and respond, not blindly attack. The Titan's crew had trained for years to anticipate every scenario. Suddenly, an alert rang from the external sensors. A massive formation of ships, or what looked like ships, rose from the planet's surface. Their shapes were angular, alien, and glowing faintly in colors that the human eye could barely register. Every one of them moved with precision, circling the Titan like predators studying prey. "Energy levels higher than predicted," Reyes said, eyes wide. "Weapon systems, maybe, but they're not firing yet." Aria's lips pressed together. "Keep monitoring. Do not engage unless I give the order. I want them to see that we come in peace. They need to understand that humans are different." The Titan's massive engines flared softly, a heartbeat of power. Its presence alone was a warning and a promise. Humanity was not weak, nor naive. Yet Aria knew the real danger was not strength alone. It was misunderstanding. Hours passed. The Titan held position in orbit, a silent sentinel. On the planet below, lights shifted, pulsed, and danced, seemingly alive. Sensors recorded data at incredible rates, each reading more perplexing than the last. This civilization's energy use was staggering. Their technology wasn't just advanced, it was alive in a way humans had never seen. In the crew quarters, engineers and scientists studied the readings in awe. "This energy output, it's like nothing in the entire galaxy," muttered Dr. Lena Rao, Chief Science Officer. "And yet, we might still have advantages: adaptability, unconventional tactics, creativity. Humans think differently. That may be our edge." Meanwhile, in the bridge's quiet corners, crewmates exchanged glances. Fear, excitement, and pride mixed in equal measure. No one had ever seen anything like this. And yet they were here. Humanity had sent its boldest, largest warship to greet the stars, and the stars had responded with their own dazzling show. Then, a transmission crackled across the comms. No language, no recognizable pattern, just a pulse of energy that made the ship's lights flicker. Chen leaned forward, adjusting filters, trying to decipher meaning. "It's almost like a heartbeat," she said. "I think they're trying to communicate. Not in words, but in energy. They know we can detect it." "Good," Arya said. "That's all we need. Now we listen, watch, and respond. Remember, the first moment defines everything. We do not start a war, we start a conversation." The crew nodded, their training kicking in. The Titan's massive hull shimmered against the void as if aware of the tension. Outside, alien lights pulsed in reply, a mesmerizing, almost hypnotic pattern. Sensors were overwhelmed. Every display on the bridge lit up. Every heart aboard the Titan raced. And then, the unthinkable happened. From the planet's surface, a massive structure, towering hundreds of meters, rose. It moved with purpose, energy lines flowing across it, forming symbols humans could barely comprehend. The structure's glow intensified, scanning, probing, as if sizing up the Titan itself. "Sir," Reyes said, voice tight, "that thing is huge, and it's coming closer." Arya's eyes narrowed. "Keep calm. Defensive shields up. Let them approach. This is a first encounter, not a battle, unless they force it." As the massive alien structure hovered in orbit, aligning itself with the Titan, a strange sensation washed over the bridge crew. Fear, yes, but also awe. Humanity had reached the stars, and here, facing them, was proof that the universe was far bigger, stranger, and more alive than anyone had imagined. For the first time, Captain Bennett felt the weight of her responsibility, not just to the crew or to Earth, but to all of humanity. One wrong move could ignite a war before words were even spoken. One right move could open doors to knowledge, allies, and opportunities no human had ever dreamed of. The Titan waited. The alien structure pulsed. The universe seemed to hold its breath. And somewhere in the crew, someone whispered, almost to themselves, This is why humans reach for the stars." The bridge lights dimmed as the crew focused, each heartbeat echoing in sync with the ship. Outside, sensors glowed. The alien world pulsed. The Titan waited, calm yet powerful, a symbol of humanity, stepping into the galactic stage. The moment had arrived. Humanity's first contact was no longer a theory, no longer a dream. It was real, and the consequences would ripple across the stars. The Titan hung in orbit, massive and unyielding, a testament to human engineering and courage. Below, the alien world shimmered with life, lights flickering like the heartbeat of the planet itself. Captain Arya Bennett watched the patterns on, the main display trying to make sense of the alien pulses. Every moment brought new readings, new mysteries, and new tensions. "Captain," Lieutenant Chen said, adjusting her console, "I think they're responding to our energy signals, but it's complicated. The patterns are too advanced for us to decode fully. They don't use words like we do. It's all energy, frequency, and emotion, maybe." Arya nodded. "We expected that. Keep analyzing. I want to know everything we can about them before making contact." Reyes leaned over, pointing at a series of pulses rising from the planet's surface. Look at this. Every time we send a signal, their lights respond immediately, but then they accelerate. It's like they're testing us, pushing our reactions. Ensign Malik frowned. Testing? Why would they test us? Are they hostile? Arya shook her head. Not necessarily. Advanced civilizations often test newcomers. It's how they measure intelligence, patience, and threat levels. That doesn't mean hostility. Despite her calm words, the bridge hummed with tension. Sensors picked up every energy fluctuation, every movement on the planet. The alien civilization seemed aware of every detail, as if the Titan itself was under scrutiny. Hours passed in silence and observation. The crew sent signal after signal, pulses of light and sound designed to communicate peace. The aliens responded, sometimes harmonizing, sometimes shifting unpredictably. Each interaction brought more questions than answers. Suddenly, the Titan's alarms blared. A massive energy wave shot from the planet's surface toward the ship. Shields flared instantly, absorbing the impact, and the bridge shook. "Report!" Arya shouted. Rhea stared at the display. It wasn't an attack, at least not in the way we understand it. It's a probe, a scan. They're measuring our defenses, our reactions. Arya exhaled. So they're cautious, but not hostile. Good. Let's respond carefully. Keep shields ready, but do not engage. We want them to know we can defend ourselves without escalating. The crew worked quickly, sending countersignals, modifying energy outputs to demonstrate both strength and restraint. Slowly, the alien responses shifted. The pulses became smoother, more deliberate, less aggressive. "Look at this," Chen said, eyes wide. "They're matching our patterns now. It's almost like they're communicating." Arya leaned closer to the display. Exactly. They're curious, they're testing, and we need to show them we are capable, intelligent, and peaceful. That's how first contact survives. Meanwhile, the alien world below began to change. Massive structures rotated, extended, and aligned toward the Titan. Energy channels lit up, forming patterns that resembled writing, or at least some complex system of symbols. The crew watched, awed and cautious. Dr. Lena Rao, the chief science officer, spoke from her station. "Captain, their energy structures, they're incredible. They seem to be alive. Not biological, but sentient in design. Their entire planet might function like a giant neural network. Every movement is purposeful." Arya nodded slowly. "And that means they think differently. Faster, maybe. Smarter in some ways, but that doesn't make them invincible. Humanity's strength isn't always raw power. It's creativity, adaptability, and courage." The Titan sent another sequence of signals. Complex harmonics, changing light frequencies, and carefully timed energy pulses. The aliens responded immediately, but this time the signals were slower, more measured. It was a conversation, tentative and fragile, but it existed. Then came the first visible manifestation. From the surface, dozens of massive platforms lifted into the air, hovering toward the Titan. Their surfaces shimmered, reflecting the ship's lights. They moved with precision, avoiding collision with each other, creating a formation unlike anything humans had seen before. Reyes muttered, They're sending emissaries. Not ships, but machines. Maybe even biological constructs combined with technology. It's hard to tell." Arya's eyes narrowed. "Maintain distance. Observe, analyze, and be ready to react. If they want diplomacy, we give it. If they test aggression, we show strength. One wrong move and first contact dies before it starts." The alien constructs stopped in orbit, hovering silently around the Titan. Energy flowed along their surfaces, interacting with the Titan's sensors. The crew watched in awe as every system lit up, recording data, analyzing frequencies, and trying to interpret meaning. "It's amazing," Dr. Rao whispered. "They're intelligent, cautious, and curious. They've never met anything like us, and now we are the unknown. That gives us a strange advantage. They will underestimate our adaptability." Hours turned into a day. The crew worked tirelessly, sending signals, observing patterns, recording every reaction. The Titan's size and technology were already a statement. Its engines pulsed like a heartbeat, showing both power and control. Humans did not fear the unknown. They studied it, adapted to it, and learned from it. Then an unexpected event shook the bridge. A massive pulse of energy emanated from the planet, creating a temporary distortion in space near the Titan. Instruments fluctuated wildly. Crew members braced themselves as the ship's AI adjusted systems automatically. "Captain," Chen said, "the pulse, it's not just energy, it's information. They're sending a message, a pattern embedded in the energy itself." Arya leaned in, fascinated. "Can we decode it?" Chen worked quickly, adjusting filters and analyzing the waveform. Slowly, the patterns resolved into shapes, sequences, and symbols humans could recognize. It wasn't language yet, but it was intelligence, deliberate thought, and intent. "They're asking questions," Chen said finally. "Not in words, but in concepts. They want to know what we are, what we can do, and how we think." Arya smiled faintly. "Then we answer. Carefully, clearly, and honestly. Humans have always survived by thinking differently. That will be our message." The Titan responded with sequences of its own, using light, harmonic pulses, and carefully controlled energy outputs. The aliens reacted immediately, forming patterns that resembled acknowledgement. It was slow, delicate, and fragile, but it worked. For the first time, the crew felt something extraordinary. Understanding. Not complete, not perfect, but mutual recognition of intelligence. Humanity was no longer just observers. They were participants in a galactic conversation. Then, without warning, a new movement appeared on the surface. A massive structure lifted into the air, far larger than any of the previous constructs. Its energy output dwarfed the Titan's own, and the bridge shook as sensors struggled to keep up. "Captain," Reyes said, voice tense, that thing is huge. Its energy signature, it's almost as strong as the Titan's, and it's moving toward us." Arya stood straighter, heart steady. "Stay calm. Observe. Do not engage. Let them approach. Humanity does not attack first. We do not strike out of fear. We respond with intelligence and courage." As the massive construct approached, the Titan's lights reflected on its surface, energy lines intersecting in intricate patterns. Every crew member felt the weight of the moment. This was history. This was first contact. And every decision from here could shape humanity's place among the stars. "Captain," Chen said quietly, I think they're inviting us to meet, not physically, but mentally, energetically. They want to know us." Arya nodded, eyes focused. "Then we meet them, carefully, deliberately, as humans always do. They may be faster, bigger, more advanced, but we have curiosity, creativity, and courage. That is our advantage." The Titan's engines pulsed, the ship's systems hummed, and the crew prepared. Outside, the alien world glowed, lights flickering, energy flowing, alive with intention. Every sensor, every heartbeat aboard the Titan waited. The Titan hung in orbit like a massive sentinel, its lights reflecting against the alien constructs that hovered silently around it. For hours, humans and aliens had communicated through energy pulses and harmonic sequences. Every flicker of light, every surge of power was a question, an answer, a negotiation. But first contact was never simple. "Captain," Lieutenant Reyes said, tension in his voice, "I'm detecting anomalies. The alien constructs are changing their formations. It's almost like they're testing our reactions again." Arya Bennett studied the readings carefully. "Not surprising. This species is intelligent, and they learn quickly. We've given them patterns, responses, and logic. They're now trying to see if we can adapt." Ensign Malik frowned. "So, it's another test? How many do they need before they trust us?" Arya shook her head. "Tests aren't just for trust. They measure risk. They measure intelligence. And they measure courage." Her gaze swept the bridge. "Humans have passed harder tests than this. Let's show them who we are." Suddenly, The largest of the alien constructs shifted. Its massive body rotated, glowing lines of energy converging on a single point. The readings spiked, energy levels unlike anything humans had seen before. "Captain, that thing is enormous," Rhea said. "It's like a planet's core condensed into a machine, and it's moving toward the Titan." Arya's eyes narrowed. "Keep shields at maximum. Observe its movement. Do not engage. Remember, humans survive because we think differently. Let's see what it does next." The construct hovered briefly, then projected a wave of energy toward the Titan. Shields flared, absorbing the blast, but the crew felt the ship vibrate. On the display, ripples of alien energy twisted like ribbons, probing, testing, analyzing. Chen adjusted the signal filters. "It's not an attack, it's information. They're probing our systems, trying to understand our technology, our responses, our decision-making." Arya nodded. "Good. Let them see humanity's mind. Let them understand we are not predictable. Our strength is our creativity." The crew worked tirelessly. Engineers rerouted power, scientists calculated response patterns, and tacticians devised solutions in real time. The Titan pulsed with energy, adapting to the alien probe in ways no alien could anticipate. Hours passed. Slowly, the alien construct shifted again, this time in response to the Titan's adjustments. It rotated, pulsing, observing, almost acknowledging. "They're learning," Dr. Lena Rao whispered. "They didn't expect us to adapt this fast. Our responses are unpredictable in ways they can't model." Arya allowed herself a small smile. That's humanity's gift. We improvise, we adapt, and we survive. Then, an unexpected event occurred. From the planet's surface, dozens of smaller constructs rose, moving in synchronized formations around the Titan. Their energy signatures were weaker but faster. They darted like living weapons, testing the ship from multiple angles. "Captain, they're trying to overwhelm our sensors," Reyes shouted. "We can't track all of them at once." Arya remained calm. "Focus on patterns, predict their intent, not their exact movements. Humanity wins by seeing what others can't see." Using a combination of predictive algorithms and human intuition, the Titan's crew began to anticipate the construct's movements. Shields shifted. Energy pulses countered the probes, and the alien machine's attempts to confuse the humans were slowly neutralized. Ensign Malik's eyes widened. "They're retreating?" Chen nodded. "Not fully, but they're adjusting their strategy. They didn't expect us to adapt so quickly." Arya exhaled, a mixture of relief and pride. "Good. Keep monitoring. We are not aggressive, but we are not passive either. Humanity's mind is our weapon, and we've just reminded them of that." As the day passed, more interactions followed. The alien constructs began to mimic human energy sequences, sending their own questions, responding to human adaptations. It was no longer a one-sided test. The first true dialogue had begun, between two species, both intelligent, both cautious, both measuring the other. Then the bridge alarms blared. A massive distortion appeared near the edge of the system. Sensors detected a third presence, unknown, powerful, and moving fast. "Captain, we have incoming," Reyes said. "Something big approaching at incredible speed. Not from the planet. Not like anything we've seen before." Arya's eyes narrowed. "Prepare for anything. Shields, weapons, evasive protocols. But remember, don't act unless necessary. Let's see what it does first." The unknown presence entered the sensor range. It was unlike the alien constructs. Its energy signature was chaotic, almost violent, and its size dwarfed even the largest planetary machines. "They're attacking," Chen said, voice trembling slightly. "I think they're trying to test both of us." Arya shook her head. "No, this is not a test. This is a threat, and humans do not run from threats. We face them." The Titan moved into defensive position. Energy shields flared, engines pulsing as the massive ship adjusted to counter the incoming force. The alien constructs reacted, forming protective patterns around the Titan. Dr. Rao spoke urgently. "Captain, If this entity engages, it could destroy the planet or the Titan in minutes. We need a strategy that combines both our abilities and theirs. Arya's mind raced. Humanity had no experience with this level of threat, but humans had something aliens often underestimated: unpredictability. Signal the planet, Arya ordered. Tell them we need cooperation. We survive better together than apart. Reyes adjusted the communications, sending coordinated energy pulses, trying to convey urgency and alliance. The alien constructs paused, energy lines flickering. For the first time, their responses slowed. They understood the humans' intent. And then, surprisingly, they adjusted their formations to aid the Titan. We're working together, Chen said, eyes wide. They're helping us, not following orders but collaborating. Arya allowed herself a brief nod. Exactly. We are unpredictable, creative, and willing to cooperate. That's our strength. Watch and learn. The unknown force approached. Closer. Its energy pulses battered the shields, testing every defense. The Titan's crew responded with a combination of tactical ingenuity and scientific calculation. They rerouted power, created decoys, and used the ship's massive engines to generate unpredictable maneuvers. The alien constructs mirrored some actions, but the humans made adjustments the aliens could not predict. The unknown entity's attacks became less precise, less coordinated. Humanity's ingenuity turned the tide. Hours of careful maneuvering, adaptation, and combined effort passed. Finally, the unknown presence retreated, withdrawing faster than it had appeared, leaving behind a ripple of energy across space. Captain, Reyes said, exhausted. It's gone. For now. Arya's gaze swept the bridge. Yes, and they've learned something about humans today. We are not weak. We are not predictable. We adapt. We survive. And sometimes, that is enough to win, without firing a single shot. The alien constructs began to return to the planet, moving slower, almost respectfully. Their energy lines pulsed in patterns the Titan crew now understood as recognition, acknowledgement of humanity's abilities. Dr. Rao exhaled. They respect us. Not fully, but they understand that humans are formidable in ways they did not expect. Arya nodded, her hands resting lightly on the rail. Formidable, yes, but more importantly, human, intelligent, brave, creative. That is how we survive. That is how we conquer the unknown without becoming monsters ourselves. For the first time, the crew allowed themselves to feel awe, not fear. They had faced an intelligence beyond comprehension and an unknown threat that could have destroyed them. Yet they had endured. Humanity's ingenuity, courage, and adaptability had turned a near catastrophe into a demonstration of potential, a proof that humans belonged among the stars. Ensign Malik finally spoke, voice trembling with excitement. Captain, we did it. We survived. And they're responding. They're impressed. Arya smiled faintly. Not just survived. We showed them who humans are, and that, young ensign, is the first step to being more than visitors. We are participants in this galaxy now. Intelligent, courageous, unpredictable humans. The Titan floated silently in orbit, massive and unyielding. The alien constructs descended slowly, pulsing in acknowledgement, and for the first time, humans and aliens had not only communicated, they had demonstrated trust, ingenuity, and respect. Somewhere deep in the sensors, the unknown force still lingered at the edge of the system. But the Titan had proven something essential. Humanity's mind was a weapon, its creativity a shield, and its courage a beacon. The calm after the previous encounter lasted only a few hours. In space, calm was always temporary. Sensors aboard the Titan began picking up unusual energy readings far beyond the alien planet's system. Something massive, fast, and dangerous was moving through the stars, far more powerful than the constructs they had faced before. Captain, Lieutenant Reyes said, voice tight with concern. We're detecting multiple energy spikes approaching. They're too fast, Too coordinated. Not from the planet. This isn't natural. Arya Bennett's eyes narrowed. Unknown, coordinated, and aggressive. It's a threat. Shields full power, all systems ready. And Chen maintained constant communication with the planet below. They need to know what's coming. Chen worked, quickly, sending harmonic pulses to the alien world. The response was immediate. Hundreds of constructs rose from the surface, energy channels glowing brighter than ever before. They formed defensive patterns around the Titan, creating a protective barrier of alien technology. Dr. Lena Rao, observing the readings, spoke urgently. Captain, whatever is coming, it's unlike anything we've seen. Their energy output is immense, and it's moving in perfect synchronization. If it engages, it could destroy this system in minutes. Arya stood tall, her voice calm but commanding. Then we prepare. Humanity survives by thinking differently. We'll use our minds, our creativity, and our courage. The Titan is more than a ship, it's a statement, and humanity doesn't back down. Outside, the stars seemed to shimmer unnaturally as the incoming threat drew closer. Enormous ships, sleek, dark, and deadly, appeared from the void, their energy signatures pulsing with malice. They moved with purpose, their formations precise and terrifying. They're attacking, Reyes muttered, and they know exactly how to strike. Arya's gaze hardened. Then we show them why humans are not to be underestimated. All crew, prepare for combat. Not reckless combat, but clever combat. Use intelligence, creativity, and strategy. Let them see human ingenuity firsthand. The first wave of the rogue fleet struck. Energy blasts collided with shields, lighting up space in a dazzling display of power. The Titan's hull trembled, but it held. The alien constructs absorbed part of the energy, acting as both shield and reinforcement. Captain, their weapons are unlike anything in our database, Chen reported. They're adaptive, changing frequency, intensity, and direction in real time. Our shields alone won't last if they continue like this. Arya's mind raced. Then we don't just use shields. We make the battlefield unpredictable. Engines, evasive maneuvers, energy redistribution. Make our moves unpredictable human moves. The Titan pulsed with energy, engines flaring unpredictably. Shield matrices shifted constantly, sending confusing signals to the attacking ships. Alien constructs adjusted, but humans adapted faster, introducing variations no alien system could anticipate. Dr. Rao shouted over the alarms. They're recalibrating. Our unpredictability is forcing them to change their patterns. They didn't expect improvisation, Arya smiled grimly. Exactly. That's what humans do best. We adapt, we create, and we survive. Keep it up. The battle intensified. Incoming energy blasts split, collided, and sometimes even interfered with each other, due to the Titan's clever maneuvers. The crew worked tirelessly, rerouting power, creating decoys and anticipating attacks faster than the enemy could. In the midst of the chaos, a realization struck Chen. Captain, they're not just attacking, they're testing coordination, intelligence, and response. They're learning from us, and if we don't innovate, they will adapt and overwhelm us. Arya's jaw tightened. Then we innovate faster. Use everything we've got. Sensors, engines, decoys, energy pulses. Creativity is our weapon. The Titan executed daring maneuvers, luring enemy ships into traps where energy bursts from alien constructs disrupted their formations. Humans anticipated patterns, used misdirection, and exploited weaknesses invisible to conventional logic. The rogue fleet struggled to respond to tactics they could not predict. Reyes shouted, Captain, they're breaking formation. The first wave. It's faltering. Arya's voice rang clear over the bridge. Good. Push forward. Humans never give up. Adapt and strike where they least expect. The crew of the Titan, aided by the alien constructs, launched a counter-offensive. Energy pulses, clever maneuvers, and synchronized attacks forced the rogue fleet into retreat. Their technology was powerful, but predictable in ways human creativity could exploit. Outside, the stars were alive with motion. Ships collided, energy surged, and space itself seemed to tremble. But humanity's ingenuity prevailed. The rogue fleet, unable to adapt to the combination of human unpredictability and alien support, withdrew into the void. Arya allowed herself a moment to breathe. "All units, status report," Reyes replied, relief evident in his voice. "Titan systems are intact, shields holding, enemy retreating. Alien constructs are stable, no major casualties." Dr. Rao shook her head, awed. "I can't believe it. We faced a fleet that could have annihilated us and survived. Not just survived, we fought them off. Humanity, you've truly shown your strength." Arya turned to the crew, pride in her voice. "Strength isn't just weapons. It's our minds, our courage, and our ability to think differently. That is why humans survive and thrive. Today we've proven it again." On the alien world, constructs returned to the surface, energy flowing in celebration. Humans had not just survived, they had earned respect. The aliens understood, finally, that humans were a species unlike any other, unpredictable, brave, and clever. Chen adjusted the comms, sending a final harmonic message to the planet. They understand us now. Cooperation, trust, acknowledgement. We're allies, not just strangers in the void. Arya nodded. "Good. Humanity doesn't conquer through fear alone. We survive, we adapt, and we inspire respect. That is how we thrive." As the stars settled back into their quiet patterns, the Titan floated in orbit, a silent guardian of both the planet and its crew. The alien civilization, once wary and cautious, now viewed humans not just as visitors but as equals, or perhaps as unpredictable forces to be reckoned with. Ensign Malik, exhausted but exhilarated, whispered, "Captain, we really did it. We survived and they respect us." Arya smiled faintly. "Yes, young ensign. But this is only the beginning. Humanity has many challenges ahead, and every time we'll meet them the same way, with courage, intelligence, and the will to survive." Outside, the stars sparkled. The alien world pulsed with energy, and the Titan remained unyielding. Humanity had faced its first true galactic threat, and survived stronger than before. The crew knew one thing for certain: wherever the universe sent them next, they would face it as humans always had, with ingenuity, bravery, and determination that no alien could predict. The battle was over, but the air inside the Titan remained thick with tension and relief. Outside, the stars shimmered quietly, as if acknowledging the triumph of humanity and its alien allies. The rogue fleet had retreated, leaving behind not destruction but a powerful warning. Humans had arrived in the galaxy, and they were not to be underestimated. Captain Arya Bennett stood on the bridge, gazing at the alien planet below. Its surface pulsed with energy, alive and vibrant, as if celebrating the survival of the Titan and the intelligence of its crew. The constructs, the alien sentinels, had returned to their stations, still glowing faintly, a sign of acknowledgement and respect. "Captain," Chen said softly, breaking the silence, "the planet, the energy patterns, they're forming a message. It's a formal recognition, I think. Not just communication. They're acknowledging humanity as equals." Arya nodded, her voice calm but filled with pride. "Then we respond carefully. Humanity doesn't boast, but we accept recognition when it is earned. Prepare the diplomatic sequence, Chen. Let them know we appreciate their acknowledgement and that we intend to cooperate." The bridge hummed as Chen sent the Titan's reply, energy pulses forming patterns that mirrored the planet's own. Slowly, the alien civilization responded. The pulses were deliberate, respectful, and surprisingly warm. Humanity had gained not just allies but recognition, a place among the intelligent species of the galaxy. Lieutenant Reyes broke the quiet, his voice tinged with awe. "Captain, they're inviting us to establish a formal dialogue. Trade, knowledge exchange, cooperation. They actually want us here. They want humanity at their side. Arya allowed herself a faint smile. Good. But remember, we approach this with humility. Strength alone does not win respect. Understanding, cooperation, and courage do. Humanity has survived because we know when to fight and when to listen. The alien constructs began to move in formation, not as a threat but as guides. They indicated safe paths through the planet's orbit, signaling that representatives were prepared to meet the Titan. Captain, Dr. Rao said, eyes wide, this is unprecedented. They've never formally invited another species like this. We're making history, not just for humans, but for the galaxy. Arya nodded. History doesn't make itself. We do, and humanity has always done it with courage, intelligence, and a willingness to adapt. Soon, the first alien delegation emerged from the surface. Massive, elegant constructs, their energy pulsing in complex sequences, approached the Titan. Humans observed with fascination as they floated silently, projecting patterns of light that the Titan's sensors interpreted as communication. Chen worked quickly, translating the energy pulses into meaningful responses. They're curious about us, our minds, our technology, our decisions, and they respect what they see. They acknowledge that humans are unlike anything in their experience. Then we show them the best of humanity, Arya said. Intelligence, creativity, and cooperation. That is how we honor this moment. The delegation extended a beam of energy toward the Titan, a gesture of peace and alliance. The crew responded, in kind, matching the patterns, demonstrating understanding, and reflecting the light back. It was a simple interaction, yet it spoke volumes. Humans had proven themselves not through sheer power, but through ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. Hours passed as the humans and alien delegation exchanged knowledge in subtle, energetic ways. Concepts, technology, philosophy, and strategy flowed back and forth. Humanity learned from the aliens, and the aliens learned from humanity. Every pulse of energy was a conversation, a negotiation, and a bridge between two species that had never met before. Ensign Malik, exhausted but exhilarated, whispered to Reyes, "Captain's right. We're doing something incredible. Not just surviving but building something bigger than us." Reyes nodded, still staring at the alien patterns. "It's more than first contact. It's the beginning of cooperation, understanding, maybe even friendship. Humanity. We belong here." Arya watched quietly, proud but thoughtful. "Yes, and we must remember this lesson. Power alone does not make us leaders in the galaxy. Respect, courage, creativity, and the willingness to understand others, that is what defines humanity." Meanwhile, on the alien planet, energy pulsed. Across cities and structures, a visible celebration of the alliance. They had witnessed humans facing impossible odds, adapting to threats no one else could predict, and demonstrating courage beyond expectation. Humanity had earned a place among the stars. "Captain," Chen said quietly, "the Alien Council, they've extended an offer. Trade, technology exchange, strategic alliances. They want humans to be partners, not just observers. They acknowledge our potential." Arya's eyes gleamed with quiet pride. "Then we accept, with humility and determination. Humanity has survived, adapted, and proven itself. Now we step forward as partners, ready to face whatever the galaxy throws at us." The Titan remained in orbit for several days, exchanging knowledge, strategies, and ideas. Humans learned faster than anyone expected, applying alien principles and combining them with human creativity. The alien civilization, in turn, adapted to human unpredictability, learning that sometimes intelligence and courage could outmatch raw power. Dr. Rao spoke during one of the sessions, her voice filled with wonder. "Captain, this is more than an alliance. It's a recognition that humanity is a species that can survive, thrive, and contribute meaningfully. We've not only protected ourselves, we've earned respect across the galaxy." Arya nodded, looking at her crew. Every member of this ship has done more than survive. You've demonstrated the best of humanity: intelligence, courage, adaptability, and creativity. That is how we make our mark in the galaxy. Outside, the rogue fleet remained at the edge of the system, cautious now, aware that humanity was not a species to challenge lightly. Even their presence was a reminder that the galaxy was full of danger, but humanity had proven it could face any threat and survive. Reyes leaned toward Arya, a smile on his face. "Captain, we've done more than survive. We've set the tone for humanity's place among the stars. They'll remember us, all of them." Arya nodded. "Yes, and history will remember this ship, this crew, and the humans who refused to be predictable, who faced the unknown, and who survived because of their minds, hearts, and courage." As the Titan prepared to leave orbit, the alien constructs projected a final display, massive waves of energy forming patterns of recognition and respect. It was a silent message to the galaxy. Humanity had arrived. They were clever, brave, and unpredictable, and they were here to stay. Chen whispered, almost in awe, "Captain, we're not just explorers anymore. We're participants in a galaxy that now knows humanity exists and can survive anything." Arya smiled faintly. "Yes, and we will continue to survive, continue to learn, and continue to grow. Humanity has a future among the stars, and we'll meet it as we always do, with courage, creativity, and determination." The Titan's engines flared softly, lifting the ship from orbit. Below, the alien world shimmered with life and energy, a new ally, a new friend, and a symbol of what humanity could achieve. For the first time, humans and aliens had not only survived together, they had begun building a future together. A future where humanity was not just another species in the galaxy, but a species to respect, admire, and perhaps even fear. Captain Arya Bennett stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. The universe stretched endlessly ahead, full of danger, mystery, and opportunity. Humanity had made its mark, and the galaxy would never forget it. The Titan sailed forward, silent yet powerful, carrying not just humans, but the potential of an entire species. And as the stars shimmered, Arya whispered to herself, "Humanity has arrived, and we will not be forgotten." The crew smiled, proud and exhausted. Outside, the stars waited, infinite and full of possibility. Humanity had survived the first true test, earned respect, and laid the foundation for a future among the stars.